Hello, friends. This is Pastor Michael, and I'm coming to you again a little bit late tonight. Actually, last week I was a whole day late, so I had some unexpected things happen. But I'm back on track, and I didn't want to let the night get by without sharing a word of encouragement and exhortation with you. Tonight, if you look at Hebrews, the 10th chapter, and we looked at this last week, I wanted to back up actually to verse 22 in chapter 10, where we read, "Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, with our hearts sprinkled clean from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. Let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near." And this particular passage tonight is, again, it sort of continues to deal with the not forsaking to meet together. And there's actually three words in it. Verse 22 talked about faith, drawing near with a full assurance of faith. What we see, I believe it was in, holding fast the confession of our hope without wavering. Then we see in verse 24, consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. So faith, hope, and love was a triad of, it was common in some of the early church teaching, and then a very common theme with them, faith, hope, and love. And we're to have that, and we tend to be able to foster that better when we meet together with one another. And I was reading today, actually even participated in an online conversation on Facebook on Kerry Newhoff's page about people deconstructing. And, that's a common theme that we hear about today. And deconstructing doesn't have to mean destroying. And for some people, their faith has basically been destroyed. We don't want that to happen. But deconstructing is really not a bad idea if you think about it. You have a home, build its nice home, but I don't know, maybe termites gets in it, and you have to treat the termites, and then you have to replace the stuff that happens. Or you could have a slight leak somewhere. It might not be a bad leak, but you have to replace the things that got leaked. That's a problem. But you take care of it. You're tearing something out, but usually you're going to build something back better, hopefully. And so that's the same thing. There's some demolition work that has to happen in our life sometimes. And some people have gone so far with the demolition work, they've totally left the church, and that's not good. Now, some of the people that had deconstructed, they were struggling, but because some of them were pastors, and even certain Christians that serve in the church, they've seen some form of abuse. It may have been sexual. It may have been just somebody being abusive to them, speaking abusively. There's certainly spiritual abuse that does exist. It's real. It happens. And, some people have just lost trust. Well, there's a passage in 1 Peter 4:17 speaks about judgment beginning in the house of God. Yes, God is going to judge things out in the world, and I think right now He's judging things in the church. I really believe that. And that's why some of the same old programs aren't working anymore. Some of them, wore people out, people trying to attend them, people constantly serving, busy. Tom Rainer tells about a time in his life as a young Christian. He was on fire for the Lord. He was serving, and an older deacon pulled him aside and said, "Look, they're probably at some point want you to be a deacon. You're working really hard, and that's good, but be careful. You can burn yourself out because it becomes about work, and not about your relationship with Jesus Christ." And so, yes, there is plenty of service for the Lord that needs to be done. And I certainly worry about the genuineness of someone's faith who never wants to serve, never wants to work, never wants to volunteer. But at the same time, there's that old 80-20 rule, that 20% of the people do 80% of the work in a church. And that's not good or right. And I think when those people begin to get tired and wore out, we have to help them. And some of those people have strayed from the church because of that. They've gotten very frustrated. They've gotten burned out, even bitter. And we need to make sure that doesn't happen. I think at Central Baptist Church, we have a great opportunity to do a lot of good because, we do some of the basic services of things, but we also really encourage an intergenerational element. So we're not running a bunch of special programs for kids, but we love the kids. As you know, that we let them know that they are an important part of our worship service. And even in the preaching time, I address them because it's very important. And we have, Miss JoJo, the 2-year-old, that it comes up sometimes and, has wanted me to hug her, wanted me to pick her up because she loves her pastor, She really does. And we love her. I love her. Everybody does. And all the other children and youth. So good things are happening there. And so we don't have to have all the programs everybody else does. And there's people that are going to be attracted to that. Some are not going to want that. They're going to want the programs. But what I'm saying is we have something to offer, genuine love. We seem to really love and care for one another. People who have been burned are looking for something that's authentic. And I believe we can offer authentic ministry to people. So today, I want to tell you that let's stir up one another to love, faith, and hope. Let's do that. Let's build one another up. I challenge us to do that. To pray for one another, to love one another. Again, people who are deconstructing, let's don't panic on that. Some people, it's a good thing they're deconstructing. They're moving away from some things that just weren't helpful. But there's other places, and there's other times that we do need to, if we see somebody straying away, we need to try to rescue them. We need to try to go to them. We need to pray for them. We need to encourage them to come back. But it is very important, very vital that we stir one another as we see the day approaching. Every day we're getting closer to the Lord's return. So every day we should be stirring others up. Well, my friends, just have that short word I wanted to share with you tonight. Let's continue to worship the Lord. Let's continue to build up one another. Let's continue to exhort one another to live for Jesus. I pray that the Lord will bless you, meet every need that you have. Be with us Sunday, 10 a.m. for Sunday school, 11 a.m. for morning worship. We'll have a great day in the Lord. If you're doing it on Google Maps and you're trying to figure out the directions, 3630 Highway 90, Liberty, Texas. That's Central Baptist Church. And we would love to have you. So friends, I pray that the Lord will bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you. See you Sunday. God bless you.